Good afternoon, everyone. Shalom.
Travis Wayne Goodsell, Church News Time. I'm sure all of you are aware of the street design for Washington, D.C., whether you know it was the act from 1887 after the Civil War. It's designed exactly like the inverted pentagram of Lucifer. I'm sure you know that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints embraces the symbol of Lucifer. It's on the keystone of the doors of the headquarters Salt Lake City Temple. On the window of the Logan Temple, and Brigham Young had it plastered all around the Nauvoo Temple to show that he had conquered Joseph Smith, kept him from rising to the sun at noonday, with the Jewish star dead and gone at the setting sun position. And maybe you don't know. Maybe all of a sudden you've heard this for the first time. And as a Mormon your whole life, living in the state of Utah, you never knew. You never went to the temple to learn of the doctrines of Lucifer that are embraced by the leaders of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and taught to be the commandments of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And you're going to claim you don't know what they are, and I therefore am lying? Really? When was the last time you went to the temple? You're a faithful Mormon, right? You wouldn't judge me as false hastily, would you? Oh, Mormons. Mormons, Mormons, Mormons. The Book of Mormon warns us against Lucifer and his church. The Latin Vulgate was the only biblical collection by Christians that added in Lucifer in the Isaiah passage. How art thou fallen, O Lucifer, son of the morning? The Book of Mormon contains that Latin Vulgate. And so Mormons, ignoring history, ignoring Nephi's dream of the formation of the great and abominable church that got a hold of the Jewish scriptures and utterly decimated them with the creation of the Bible, as 2 Nephi 29 informs us. Gentiles are Christians. A Bible. Christians have a Bible, and they need no more Bible. What thank you the Jews, mine ancient covenant people. Wait a minute, so the Lord God is not for the Christians? No, duh. Great and abominable church, Christianity, with the first creed that Joseph Smith in his first vision said is all wrong, all abominable, and all corrupt. Anybody know the definition of all? It's an absolute. There is nothing good about Christianity because of what Roman Emperor Constantine did to the Jews. The Book of Mormon condemns Christianity, condemns the Great Spirit Jesus, condemns anybody who replaces the Jews, replaces the Jewish synagogues with Christianity, replaces the Jewish Christ with Jesus. All you had to do was read it. Alma chapter 30 talks about Korihor, who's an antichrist. Is he anti-Jesus? You weren't listening, were you? Or you didn't want to believe. It's anti-Jewish Christ. Korihor is an anti-Jew. And he's preaching the doctrine of Lucifer, to take away people's agency by causing them to do whatever they want, and there will be no punishment or crime. And thus, by the wrong exercise of agency, the satanic leadership will then come out and say, you can't be trusted with your agency, look what you did. We now have to take it away and tell you what to do in all things. And so, yeah, priestcraft enforced with violence, the order of Nehor, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Priestcraft with the Strengthening Church Members Committee. Physically putting to rights what they claim is not right. Christians, with the advent of the internet, don't like other people doing things that they disapprove of. Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints claims to be Christian, and we're all on board with all of this. And so they began to go to websites that they disapproved of and put malware viruses on those sites, or in the ads on those sites, so that anybody who clicks on them or goes to it gets a malware virus on their system to destroy them, because Christians disapprove of your lifestyle choices and are punishing you for it, so that you will then believe in Jesus and come to the Christian faith, or the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And this is the trap in Mormonism, that those who leave the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints because they don't like the standards and values that are constrictive and extremist, so they go out into the world, rip off the underwear, and go into a full-on frenzy orgy fest, drugs, drinking. And then something bad happens because you went to the other extreme. And then you go, oh my God, the church was so true. They warned me about this, that if I left the church, I'd become a drunken slut whore, doing drugs. So you go crawling on your hands and knees back to your bishop, crying, "Bishop, I'm so sorry. You were right. The church is so true. I now know." Okay, well, you're excommunicated for a year, at least. We need to see if you're going to be loyal to the church now. We're going to yoke you to Jesus here. You got to perform this checklist of outward performances and then come and see me on a weekly basis. And maybe if I get discernment that you've repented sufficiently, we'll welcome you back. You're not going to do the revision of the footnotes, even though we rejected many of them anyway, Avraham. Your translation of Israel was rejected. So we'll give you a second chance working for BYU. You can be called the expert in Isaiah, as long as you ignore what Isaiah tells us and conform and comply to Nelson's new translation. What do the Jews know? We have a living prophet of Jesus to tell us what translation is of Hebrew. Those Jews don't know anything. So, the Book of Mormon teaches about the difference between those who claim to be angels of light, but are antichrists, claiming that they, through their wisdom, are enlightenment, versus the true enlightenment of the Jewish religion. It's not Christianity, remember? Christianity sent the world into the Dark Ages. They didn't even bathe because it's a sin to take off your clothes. Remember Lucifer's plan of happiness in the temple? And so when they got sick with the Black Plague or the Bubonic Plague or any other plague, they blamed the Jews who weren't sick because they bathed. The Jews are witches. They worship the Dark Lord Lucifer. And so you have no clue what Matthew is talking about with beam and mote then. You're projecting to vilify others of what you yourself are guilty of. God. So, the church has now established a faith and learning center in the UK. And the landscape architect designed the sidewalk as the inverted pentagram of Lucifer. Just like the streets of DC. Oh my God. Because there's no scientific learning in a faith and learning center of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. They don't dare call it another BYU UK. It's used just like a BYU. It's for seminary institutes and for strength of the youth devotionals and stuff like that. But nothing is anything near true. It literally is all wrong, all abominable, and all corrupt. There is no teachings in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints that are true. When they talk about the Book of Mormon, they use alternate translations, interpretations, and definitions of the words, just like Christians did to the Jews. Nothing this church does is good or true. You got Renland, who's still going out to different countries, checking on the charities. And again, it's all business deals. If the church truly were a charity, every single ward in this church would have a bishop's storehouse as Joseph Smith ordered. 141 bishop storehouses for over 31,000 congregations is far insufficient to claim you're good and true and following Joseph Smith, who you claim is the founder. You are neglecting the poor and the needy. You are causing problems. You're not solving them by selective charity. And despite doing all these videos condemning the church and the Strengthening Church Members Committee, downloading my content, going over them and returning and reporting about my content to the leaders of the church still refuse to be good, to do good. They are in open rebellion against their claims of authority. Open rebellion to do good. That is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And Mormons emulate the leaders, so that not a single faithful Mormon is good and true. None of you can be trusted. You are the enemy of mankind. Not just because you lie with every breath you take, every move you make. Church is watching you. But because the church is using you to overthrow the world, to exterminate mankind. Remember at the beginning? They caused it, you do it, and then they blame you because you did it. And then they take away your agency. You can't be trusted. You exterminated mankind. You have to obey us now, for the millennial reign of peace being yoked to Jesus. With the law of consecration, aka slavery. Unless we forget the sexual deviances. It is not hard to recognize evil. It's just that people don't recognize the evil in themselves or in those that they embrace.